President Joe Biden is being criticized by Republicans. May not be something new, but he's saying something interesting. He's saying the United States is not looking to decouple from China. And he also referenced this Chinese spy balloon, you know, the one that flew over the whole U.S. before the military went and shot it down. And he said he wouldn't let the silly balloon damage his communications with the CCP. But look, it tends to be the case like this. Biden's comments at the G7 meeting in Hiroshima, Japan were a bit different from how they're being framed. While it does look like the United States will not totally cut off from the CCP, it is likely we're going to see a further break from the regime. And this is really the broader concept of what Biden actually stated. Watch.
We're not looking to decouple from China. We're looking to de-risk and diversify our relationship with China. That means taking steps to diversify our supply chains, and we're not dependent on any one country for necessary product.
Look, critics rightly gave Biden a hard time for this, but I think there was more to it. While he did say the U.S. is not looking to decouple from China, he also said they're looking to diversify. And when it comes to trade, that's a diplomatic way of saying that they want to be less reliant on China, which means pulling some stuff out. It doesn't mean a full decoupling, but it does signify the U.S. is going to look at some other trade routes and some other countries outside of China for those deals. Now look, I'm generally very open that the United States really should completely decouple from China. The CCP openly declares within China that it is at war with the United States. It doesn't believe that the two systems can exist in the same earth together. We're not going to benefit from any deal we make with the CCP, at least not in the long term. But Biden followed up this statement with something else. He also said the United States is going to continue to have an open communication line with the CCP, and that he wouldn't let the spy balloon incident stop that from happening. Watch this.
We should have an open hotline. At the Bali conference, that's what the President Xi and I agreed we were going to do and meet on. And then this silly balloon that was carrying 2 freight cars worth of spying equipment was flying over the United States, and it got shot down, and everything changed in terms of talking to one another. I think you're going to see that begin to thaw very shortly.
That silly balloon. This line's pretty telling. How does Biden plan to thaw tensions with the CCP? And why would he do it at a time when the regime is pushing for a global financial war against the United States? Remember, right now as we speak, the CCP is backing programs among Asian countries, all throughout Latin America, throughout the Middle East, pushing to drop the US dollar. It's the de-dollarization movement. The CCP is openly trying to replace the United States in the world as the world leader on diplomacy and on peacekeeping. That means the Pax Sinica replacing the Pax Americana. For instance, it's pushing for talks to negotiate peace between Russia and Ukraine. And the CCP is openly threatening war, including with the possible invasion of Taiwan they keep talking about. The reality for the United States and G7 nations is there is now a fairly deep awareness of the CCP and its nature. And ironically, this was a side effect of the COVID outbreaks. Look, despite the best efforts of the CCP and its buddies in the global medical establishment, evidence on the outbreak now points to China as the origin. Look, a Pentagon report now suggests that Dr. Fauci and others around him lied to us. A Chinese lab leak is, in fact, the most likely source of the virus, and this is public now. We remember how the CCP lied to us about those origins, how it shut down the global supply chain, how it threatened to cut off America's medical supplies. Remember that? We remember how it used wolf warrior diplomacy to threaten any country that even criticized it. And now the world knows something even deeper. It cannot safely remain dependent on China. And now, look, maybe this won't necessitate a complete decoupling from the regime, but we can say very well it would do well to diversify the market.